You would have a little bit, but I would technically it's an uncommon item. Yeah, I'm gonna say
Okay.
the artificers at least keep like one pot on them.
Yeah, so probably not enough for a full coat for giants, but some.
Would you? Do you need a particular kind of Arcanite?
Oh.
Technically, no. It just depends on the effect you're going for. Gold Arcanite allows the tattoos to react on their own. We don't have any other Arcanite.
Well, we could if we don't
Would
mind
the
diluting.
forger
Oh, I was about to say if you don't mind diluting it a bit, I can at least put up a bit of a difference.
would the forgery kit have arcane inks in it?
That's such a good question.
No, that is beyond what the forgers normally do. They can supplement it with a little bit of artificery, but then you'd be an artificer ink monger.
That's just because it says inks. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
didn't
you would have the ink part
specify
of it.
that
It
it's
would need.
not
Oh,
arcane inks.
to be fair, you could combine your ink with the Arcanite red powder
That's
to
what I was
create a one pot of red Arcanite powder.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We have enough to make like a supplement with the red.
I'm happy doing that.
Yeah, I've got some that'll probably. It might not work 100%, but at least
But I
you know,
guess I'm going to teach a cow new lessons.
Yeah.
What was your name, Metal Man? The larger one, not the small, puny one.
Dr. Zormir.
Strange. Dr. Zormir, will you follow me then and bring your ink and Arcanite with you?
Hey,
I've probably shrunk down by now.
Yeah.
Because it's a miniature of
you're
it.
still big. You're still pretty big. Okay, so mate, here you go. This should help. And I'm literally gonna just.
Pass
Yeah.
the ink over as well.
I'm just gonna give you a bag and just go 1 mealful, 2 mealfuls, 3 meal, and just do it for the full 10.
Okay.
Just get a little lump of gold Arcanite powder.
I will use my right tool for the job to mix this two together.
You get 10 full meals worth of red Arcanite dust.
You'd actually need some sophisticated alchemy equipment to properly imbue the magic. It's not a simple case of just mixing it as with all Arcanite. And while your tool can do any tool for the job, it doesn't do equipment. So
No.
unfortunately, it doesn't recreate an entire alchemy lab.
Uh,
It'd be like
Okay.
a pestle and mortar or something like that, but not the rest of it.
Would
Yeah,
they
you
not
like
have?
alchemy expensive equipment to do this. You could get like a small tool for your tool thing, but it's not quite that powerful.
Would
Yeah.
they not have things that would do?
Does anyone have an alchemy kit?
Well, if you'd follow me,
I'm following the.
Yeah, I've just handed it
This
to
is
you.
with powder in my hand and the ink. Yeah. They've given me some red Arcanite dust and some ink.
A sack of red Arcanite dust probably is quite a lot.
I believe we
I
can mix
suppose
this.
you'll want to lift up so you can see this console.
Yes, I've shrunk down because I can't.
Can you sell?
Unless I. Wait. 2 seconds.
Yeah, he leans down
The
and
point will
places
just be
his palm.
lurking.
All right, get
Can I
on,
use a-
whoever wants to see.
I'm just going to use another spell slot to
I'm gonna check if
another.
levitate is still active on me, so I can just hover up.
I'll be able to do it, and she'll just
I've-
jump.
I've grew myself to and
Even larger yourself.
Up to 10 minutes.
enlarged
So
myself again, and this will work a bit better. I only have
I'm
a
just going
minute.
to assume the professor wants to come lurk over this too. No, who knows? Professor doesn't want to come lurk over it.
Yeah.
so the point will be a polite distance back,
I'll be in a
but
rocket's
just with his tattoo kit out.
I'll be in a rocket's 21 feet into the air and lands on the table.
As even Abigail's like, wait, no. Let's take it away from the giants. You can't trust a giant. Susie, get down here! Just sees Susie. Bane, you weren't here when it happened. The hydras are just crawling along the upper parts of the cavern ceiling now.
Yeah.
Just so you're aware.
Okay, go tell Susie.
Nobody's there to mind them, so they've just gone off on their own.
They just wandered over here.
he was still just finding a treasure trove of stuff.
I kind of like the idea of
yeah, we're just
watching the
wrapping it
Hydra scuttle across the roof and then seeing like "fuck you" scuttle behind them. Like, that's the only shot we've gotten of "fuck you" so far.
Just sculling across the ground, just like looting like a little goblin.
But anyway, to wrap up this scene, so you guys can effectively have a short rest after this if you want.
Oh yes.
And also, if you want to, we'll do the cutscene and Rising of the Giant next week if you want. As they lift you up, you can see that the sarcophagus-like creation of this large thing, made of this very sleek, unknown metal, this almost kind of looks like almost steel, but with a slightly stranger, more engraved sci-fi kind of look. And there even seems to be little kind of gleams of Arcanite kind of sparkling here and there. The same kind of gleam of Arcanite, but not crystalline like you're used to. And as they kind of lift you up, you can see the giant Akuma kind of waves his hand over the center of it, and kind of a little slot opens up in the center, and rising out of it is this arcane screen that those who are more in the more civilized society would be aware of the kind of arcane screen technology, kind of potentially be a TV, but this one looks to be incredibly complex and more sophisticated, as arcane glyphs just spread across the screen. And in a short duration, you can see it kind of settle on this almost interface with strange iconography that you're unable to read. They definitely seem to be rooted in the base arcane symbols that you use in Arcana, but they look to be a little bit more complex, and you can see multiple arcane glyphs kind of overlapping or intermingled to make these more complex characters. But Akuma seems to he seems to hesitate when touching them. Not like he's incredibly proficient, but at least kind of he has to spend a moment studying them before he kind of clicks on one. And as he does so, you see him click on 3 in particular, which you will be able to remember for a history check if you want later. And 2 slots to either side of the panel kind of open up, revealing a little alcove. Probably like the size of, maybe just slightly smaller than a giant's fist.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Size of football.
Yeah, maybe a little bit larger than that. It would be about the size, just slightly bigger than the size of football.
Okay.
All right. In case your pea-brain livestock mind don't know what this is an arc table.
Ooh. You are
I'll
currently,
be having that.
so you are currently muted, but
Place the ink in the left slot and the dust in the right slot.
Very well. I'm guessing it's a more arcane method of using different proficiencies and tools, or an alchemy lab.
Akuma kind of looks at the device and looks at you. Yes.
I've used that tone of voice before.
As he presses a central. Akuma doesn't actually know how this thing works. Akuma has learned how to use it, but doesn't seem to comprehend it.
Very well.
But you yourself, kind of looking at this, there is a kind of arachnid architectural pattern to it. And there is arcane glyphs kind of webbed around the base of it. It is very strange. You've never actually seen anything like this in your travels. It essentially looks like an arcane spider table. As Akuma presses another button, and you can almost feel a soft purring buzz from the machine from inside the large kind of bulk of it. And 6 seconds later, you hear this little arcane ding sound out as a panel in the center of the table, just in front of the screen, opens and reveals a little rising table with a very beautiful crystal glass, almost like you'd get like bourbon in bottle, with this intricate kind of crystalline pattern to it, with a black ink with strewn with red arcanite. So that it says black and red ink inside of it, gleaming with arcane particles.
It's a decanter of arcane. Arcanite.
It is a decanter of red arcane ink.
Cool.
I'm sure this will work for the job.
But with that, if you guys would like to take effectively a short rest to do the inking, because this will take a while, and preparing the giant, that is where we're going to end for the night.
Yeah.
You guys having effectively made some form of tentative alliance with the Oni twins, Akuma and Izami.
Diplomacy!
Oh, they're twins. I didn't. Oh,
You didn't.
okay.
I figured that.
Oh.
To be fair, they're
I'm
just
very
siblings.
Oh, they're not
It's-
actually twins.
You don't know they're twins yet,
I
and
love
it's
how
also
people
not
are
really that
rolling
relevant.
hit dice. I've taken no damage.
I've taken a
'Cause I
lot of
Prince of-
damage.
Yeah, I Prince of Persia it to get here.
But
and I've
while
taken
you
no
prepare
damage.
effectively a ritual to create some form of potentially void-empowered stone giant
Yeah.
golem.
I'm recording the whole thing, by the way, on my headpiece.
That's fair.
Um,
You guys also get the benefits of a short rest while you prepare all this. And
Hooray!
that is us for the night.
Hey,
For the
good
note,
session.
if Detect Thought ends, I can basically use Detect Thoughts to suck up all the encode thoughts into my brain, and that's pretty much where the spell ends. So like that's done then. So no more silver, but that's a 5.
There we go. I am
that's
exactly
you.
healed up after using all that many health.
Do you train yourself? Because you can read surface thoughts. Do you train yourself on the professor at all? With
No,
detect
I have
thoughts?
no need to.
Okay, well, I was just wondering.
But
Yeah, we
like,
all know
you
those
don't
thoughts are
have any
empty.
knowledge I want.
You train
And
you.
assassins
No, it's fair.
like
It's entirely fair. I was just wondering.
I imagine you just train yourself on Alvina's thoughts to just see essentially like what's on TV today.
But also finish. Zormir, while you're there, you also catch Akuma occasionally kind of glancing to the side to what appears to be some form of platinum tablet that he's kind of keeping hidden under his armor. He occasionally kind of looks at and kind of reads through before kind of returning to the screen.
It's his cheat sheet.
He seems to have some sort of almost similar to the kind of strange steel-like metal off the table. A little sleet of a little sheet of steel metal inscribed, and you can actually see on the corners of the essentially paper metal is a small droplet, a little shard of platinum arcanite in each corner.
He has an iPad.
Slightly thinner than arcanite because it's a very thin sheet of metal.
Oh, like really thin. Okay. Cool.
Well, maybe like a finger's width.
Okay, it's basically an iPad for a giant.
It's one of the slimline ones.
But yep, there you go. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. That is episode 14. Akuma and Izami.
Is that me? Yeah.
Tune in next week to find out if what fuck you's been up to, just stealing all the shit in the back here, and if the party successfully raise a void-empowered stone giant.
With fire arcanite.
With fire arcanite.
That's why I was like,
Bye.
I don't know if this is gonna work, but it'll be funny.
Gonna have to modify the stat block to include some red arcanite powers.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, see you, audience. Sorry that my
Bye.
stream disconnected partway through, but
Oh.
I'll figure out how to do this. My
Oh
internet went.
god, did that happen? Ooh.
My
Yeah,
internet went down
that's when it dropped.
completely.
Could I before we finish off, just a bit of bookkeeping? Could I chat to Izami? Could I be doing that while I assume Akuma and the Professor and the Point and all are doing the hammering of stuff and the arcane research? Can I just be observing her and the stone giant purely
yes, that's
from
fine.
my own, so I can absorb information and knowledge and use it for my own benefit?
She
later?
seems uncomfortable around you,
Yeah,
Hmm.
Alvina would
Well,
have, after the immediate, like, making the
as if, you know, a talking sheep had just shown up and started talking to them.
Okay, that's fair.
I'll-
I'll chat to her next time.
Alvina would have gone back
And
over
find
to
something
his
in common.
army after they started doing actually intelligent required stuff.
Fair.
Actually, no,
Yes,
that'd be
we
just like,
can, we can do all of that. We can do a little short rest scene at the beginning of next week. Yeah, there we go.
Huzzah! Good session.
That was fun.
Everyone say bye.
Bye.
I'm just amazed
Cheerio.
it didn't descend into full-on combat. As
I had
always.
so many Oni mage stuff to do, and you never
Yeah.
triggered any of it.
Yeah. Hey, don't worry, we'll get to it.
I essentially sleeper holded one of them. So.
Oh, don't you worry, because I get to reuse this stat block in the Oni chamber, or
Hurrah!
the Oni tower.
Looking forward to it.
Bye, audience.
All right.
Okay, so on my end, yeah, again, apologies for the stream cutting out. I hope I didn't miss anything too major. Them dropped mid-sentence, which was kind of annoying. But yes, thank you.
I think the only thing you missed was the sword.
Yes, evidently.
Yes.
I'm sure I'll find that sword, whatever. Anyway, yes. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Chris. That was hysterical. That was awesome, honestly. And thank you, players. That was a lot of fun. I'll be back on Monday for Assassin's Creed. So thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic evening. If so, you keep playing. Good night.